Good morning, beloved. Have you ever woken up and felt like fear was already waiting at the door? Like your mind was under siege before your feet even hit the floor? What if the weight you carry today isn't proof of weakness, but an invitation to let the light in? Some mornings don't begin with peace, they begin with pressure. The to-do list grows before you even open your eyes. The expectations feel louder than your prayers. The thoughts begin to race, and before the world even speaks, the inner battle has already begun. There are days when fear surrounds you without warning, when insecurity whispers louder than truth, and when stress seems to close in from every side. But right in the middle of that moment comes Psalm 27 with words that don't deny the struggle but break through it like morning light. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? This isn't poetry for decoration. It's a weapon, a declaration, a line drawn in the sand against every shadow that dares to enter your day. This psalm doesn't start with David describing his problems, it starts with him declaring his position. Light, salvation, confidence in the one who never changes. In a world full of noise, God is your stillness. In a world full of pressure, He is your peace. In a world full of darkness, He is your light. And that light isn't just something you look at, it's something you carry. It fills the corners of your soul where fear once lived. It chases out the lies you've silently believed. It restores clarity to places where confusion has taken root. This morning, before you reach for your phone, your coffee, or your calendar, reach for the Word. Let Psalm 27 meet you in the middle of your uncertainty. Not to shame your fear, but to silence it. Not to erase the battle, but to remind you that you are not fighting it alone. There's a promise waiting to rise inside. A promise that says, fear may come, but it won't win. You're not the only one who feels like life sometimes looks more like a battlefield than a blessing. And that's why we pause not to pretend, but to realign. This morning prayer isn't just a way to start the day, it's a moment to reset your focus, strengthen your spirit, and remind your soul that your confidence doesn't come from perfect conditions. It comes from the presence of a perfect God. So let the Word ground you before the world distracts you. Let it anchor you before anxiety tries to pull you under. Let it shape your inner atmosphere before anything else sets the tone. We're going to walk slowly through Psalm 27, letting each verse breathe. Not rushing, not reciting, but receiving. Then we'll pray through 7 promises drawn from these powerful verses. These are not just words to inspire you. These are spiritual truths designed to carry you, to walk with you into the day, to remind you that while the world around you may shift, the God within you never changes. Let your guard down for a moment. Not to be vulnerable to fear, but to be open to light. The light that exposes what's heavy, yes, but also the light that heals. The light that reveals where hope is still alive. The Lord is your light. Not just a light, your light. Your salvation. Your peace. This is not a passive comfort. It's an active promise. It moves into your fear. It answers back when stress speaks first. It lifts your perspective when pressure tries to bury it. So take a breath. Set your heart. And as we begin this time of reflection and prayer, know this: what surrounds you today is not greater than what holds you. And no darkness you walk through is stronger than the light that walks with you. The Lord is your light and your salvation, so what is there left to fear? This morning, choose to begin not from a place of panic but from a place of peace. Fear will try to define the day before it even begins. It will try to whisper about what could go wrong, what might be missing, or what you're not ready for. But light always exposes the lie. And salvation always overcomes the storm. God is not distant from what you're facing. He's not surprised by your emotions, and He's not disappointed by your weakness. He draws near to shine light into every dark thought, every anxious breath, every quiet worry you haven't even named yet. You are not required to be perfect to be protected. You are simply invited to follow the light. When the weight of the unknown feels heavy, remember this: light doesn't remove the unknown, but it gives you enough clarity to take the next step. And salvation doesn't mean you won't walk through trouble, it means you'll never walk through it alone. So whatever lies ahead to wed, whatever tasks, deadlines, decisions, or distractions, you can begin by anchoring your soul in this promise. Lord, as this day begins, remind this heart that fear is not the future. Faith is. You are the one who shines through every shadow. You are the one who lifts every burden and calms every storm. You are not only the source of light, you are the safe place where salvation takes hold. And that means nothing ahead of you can defeat what God has already declared over you. When worry rises, let your eyes rise higher. Look beyond what's immediate and temporary. Fix your attention on what is eternal. God's presence doesn't just remove fear, it redefines reality. In the moments when you feel overwhelmed, you don't need all the answers. You just need the light. And the light is with you. You're not called to figure it all out. You're called to follow. You're not expected to carry the full weight of this day. You're invited to walk in step with the one who already knows the way. Let your soul breathe today. Let truth chase out the lies. Let light flood the spaces that used to be ruled by anxiety. When fear says, "You're not enough," the light says, "I am with you." When fear says, "You can't handle this," salvation says, "You don't have to, I already have." You are not alone in this battle. You are not the source of your own strength. There is a protector who stands beside you, a savior who goes before you, and a light that leads you through every valley. So carry this confidence into the day, into every room, every task, every thought. You don't walk into the unknown empty-handed, you walk in holding a promise. A word that says, "The Lord is your light." The Lord is your salvation. And fear has no right to speak louder than truth. Thank Him for being your steady peace when everything else shakes. Thank Him for holding your heart even when your mind can't see the outcome. Let this be your prayer. God, you are here. You are greater. And because of you, I will not fear. Let that truth settle in deeper than emotion. Let it become more than a verse, let it be a way of life. And as you walk through this day, carry the light. Bring it with you. Let it shine in every decision, every interaction, and every silent moment. You are a carrier of hope. You are a reflection of the light that lives within you. And today, because of that light, you don't have to be afraid. Though an army besiege you, your heart will not fear. Though war rises up on every side, confidence remains, not because the pressure disappears, but because the presence of God never does. This promise isn't for perfect days. It's for days that feel like battle. Days when deadlines press in, emotions run thin, and criticism comes from places you didn't expect. Some battles don't wear armor, they wear emails, text messages, unfinished conversations, or the weight of expectations that no one else seems to notice. Stress sometimes feels louder than peace. Conflict often feels closer than comfort. But even then, confidence still belongs to you. God doesn't ask you to be fearless. He simply invites you to stand in His strength. You don't have to pretend the army isn't there. You don't have to deny the tension or hide the pressure. You just have to stay grounded in a deeper truth. He is your stronghold. So when your soul wants to retreat, let Him be your courage. When your heart feels surrounded, let Him be your defender. He is the one who goes before you, behind you, and beside you. And He is not shaken. You might feel like things are coming at you from all angles. The weight of people's opinions, the pressure to perform, the quiet voice of insecurity that tells you you're not enough. But in this very place, you have a choice. Not to be defined by the battle, but to be anchored by the truth. Lord, in the moments when I feel surrounded, help me not to shrink back. When fear knocks on the door of my heart, remind me that you are the one who answers. When the noise gets loud, help me to find my stillness in you. Let my confidence be rooted not in control, but in closeness to you. Confidence doesn't come from pretending everything's okay. It comes from knowing you are here. Confidence is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of God in the middle of them. Let your heart be still, even if life isn't. Let your breath slow down, even if everything else speeds up. You don't need to force peace, you just need to step into it. And peace comes when presence becomes your focus. So today, walk forward with strength. Not because you're invincible, but because you're held. Face pressure with peace. Respond to criticism with grace. And when the stress feels overwhelming, let worship be your weapon. You don't need to fight every battle. Some are already being fought for you. And some only require you to stand still and know who your God is. We all face our own version of war, but we also carry the same source of peace. We are not alone. We are not without hope. And we are not defenseless. There is one who stands with us. And in Him, confidence is not fragile, it is firm. So let your steps today reflect the truth. You are not under attack. You are under covering. You are not outnumbered, you are backed by heaven. And no matter what rises up around you, the Spirit of God within you is stronger. Even when conflict comes, even when people misunderstand, even when everything seems to hit at once, you will be confident. Because the one who defends you never leaves. One thing. That's all David asked for. Not power. Not protection. Not comfort or even clarity. Just one thing: to dwell in the house of the Lord. To live close to His presence. To gaze upon His beauty. To remain where peace never leaves. This isn't about escaping problems. It's about choosing what matters most. When everything else competes for your attention, when success, approval, productivity, and pressure pull at you, there is still a quiet invitation waiting. Dwell. Don't just visit. Stay. Be with the one who gives rest that striving can't offer. This world is loud. It will always try to convince you that what you do defines who you are. But the presence of God tells a different story. It says who you are is already known, already loved, already welcomed. And what your soul truly needs is not another breakthrough. It's communion, intimacy with the one who created you. Lord, let today be marked by more than activity. Let it be marked by awareness. I don't want a surface-level connection. I want depth. I want stillness. I want to know that in every step I take, I'm walking with you. Help this heart crave your presence more than performance, more than routine, more than the appearance of faith. Draw me past the noise and into the sanctuary of stillness. Let me not just read words, but truly hear your voice. Let my time with you not be rushed. Let it be real. One thing. That's all it takes. One holy desire. One deep longing. To be with the God who satisfies the ache that nothing else can touch. Even if everything else falls short today, even if plans fail, conversations disappoint, or the schedule shifts if you've walked with him, you haven't missed anything. Because being with him is the reward. His presence is the answer. His nearness is the peace. Let your decisions today be shaped by presence, not pressure. Let your words come from overflow, not obligation. Let your energy be directed not by urgency, but by intimacy. Beauty isn't found in this world's highlight reel. It's found in beholding the one who never changes. In seeing his character, in recognizing his hand in the ordinary, and as you seek him, he draws near. He doesn't wait until you perform or prove yourself. He meets you in the quiet. He reveals himself in the details, in the laughter, in the silence, in the scripture that lands differently this time, in the conversation that softens your heart unexpectedly. We were never made to live far from his presence. That's why distraction wears us down. That's why busyness burns us out. Because the soul longs for home. And home is not a location. It's where he is. So ask for one thing today. Ask to dwell, to be with him, to live every hour aware of the God who never leaves. You don't need to chase what you already have access to. Just be still. Just be near. And in that nearness, you'll find everything you need. In the day of trouble, you are not left to figure it out alone. You are not abandoned to your own strength or stranded in chaos without direction. The promise is clear. In trouble, he will keep you safe. In hardship, he will hide you. Not to remove you from reality, but to secure you within his presence. Trouble doesn't have to define the day. His presence does. You are not fragile when you're hidden in him. You are not sinking when you're set upon his rock. The Lord never promised a life without storms, but he did promise a place of shelter. There is safety not in avoidance, but in elevation. In being lifted above the noise. In seeing the battle from a higher perspective. When you choose to run to him, instead of running from the pressure, everything shifts. Lord, today I choose to hide in you. Not out of fear, but out of faith. Not because I want to escape, but because I want to rise. When problems knock, I won't respond with panic. I will respond with presence. With worship, with trust. Let your nearness be my shield. Let your covering be my calm. Lift me not with pride, but with confidence rooted in who you are. There is no power like the power of a soul that knows where its shelter is. And you are safe, not because circumstances are ideal, but because God is unshakable. Sometimes you may feel exposed, vulnerable, but remember, his dwelling is not a physical building. It's the reality of his Spirit surrounding you, holding you, defending you. Let your instinct today be to run toward him, not toward distraction, not toward despair, but toward the rock that never moves. In the middle of the unknown, he places your feet on something firm. Not because the storm disappears, but because you're anchored. Let him lift your vision. Let him shift your focus from what threatens you to the one who protects you. Let him raise your eyes so you stop staring at the waves and start seeing the one who walks on them. You are not fragile in his arms. You are not overlooked. You are hidden, not to be silenced, but to be sustained. In that hiding place, strength is renewed. In that dwelling, clarity returns. In that holy shelter, peace becomes louder than pressure. So when the next moment of trouble comes and it will remember what's already true, you have a refuge. You have a covering. You have a rock. And you don't have to climb to find him. He lifts you. He sets you high, not to show off your strength, but to remind you of his. Let your thoughts today be lifted. Let your emotions be lifted. Let your perspective rise from the valley to the rock. You were not meant to live beneath fear. You were made to walk in freedom. And when it feels like you're surrounded, remember, you are. Surrounded by grace, surrounded by peace, surrounded by the God who holds every outcome before it arrives. We may not avoid every difficulty, but we never walk through them unguarded. And that's why, even on days of trouble, we can still rise. Not because we're untouched, but because we're deeply held. There's a quiet voice within you that says, "Seek his face." And this morning, you're answering. Not to chase blessing, not to demand answers, not to control outcomes, but simply to be near. Because more than provision, more than clarity, more than breakthrough, what your soul needs most is him. When everything else feels noisy, when the demands of the day try to pull you in every direction, there is something powerful about a heart that says, "Your face, Lord, I will seek." Not your hand, not just your help, but you. Seeking his face is about more than reading words. It's about pursuing presence. It's about coming close without agenda. Being still enough to hear, quiet enough to feel, surrendered enough to follow. Lord, let this heart seek you not for what you can do, but for who you are. Not just in crisis, but in the calm. Not only when I feel desperate, but even when things are steady. Because the greatest treasure of this life is communion with you. You are the blessing. You are the peace. You are the strength and the joy and the answer that no other thing can provide. So remove the clutter. Silence the noise. Strip away every distraction, every idol, every good intention that has slowly taken the place where awe and wonder belong. Sometimes the most sacred prayer isn't loud. It's honest. It's simple. It's whispered in the early morning hours. God, I just want you. Let that longing rise in you today. Let it grow stronger than the desire for results or recognition. Let it draw you out of routine and into holy pursuit. Because when you truly seek his face, you'll begin to see him everywhere. In the stillness of a morning, in the kindness of a stranger, in the quiet conviction during prayer, in the peace that doesn't make sense. The more you seek him, the more aware you become of his nearness. He's not far. He's never been. He's not waiting for perfection, he's waiting for attention. Your heart was created for this. And when you seek him, he responds. Not with a lecture, but with love. Not with rules, but with rest. Not with performance, but with presence. We live in a world that constantly demands more. But God invites you into enough. Enough stillness. Enough grace. Enough of Him to carry you through whatever today holds. So ask Him to meet you. In the interruptions, in the ordinary, in the commute, the conversation, the quiet moments you might have overlooked. Ask Him to help you notice. Because when you see Him, you change. Not outwardly at first, but inwardly, deeply, unshakably. And from that place, everything flows differently. Let your worship today be a response to what you see in Him. Let your obedience come from awe, not obligation. Let your joy be rooted in who He is, not in how things turn out. The world may run after success, but you run after presence. And you will find Him. Because He's not hiding. He's revealing. He's waiting. He's right here. You may seek Him with trembling, but He receives you with open arms. You may feel unworthy, but He calls you beloved. You may come empty, but He fills every corner of your soul with Himself. So let your heart say it again. Your face, Lord, I will seek. And let today be the beginning of deeper pursuit. Even if the closest people walk away, the Lord will receive you. Even when those who were supposed to stay don't, God still does. You are never too far. Never too broken. Never too forgotten to be welcomed by Him. Rejection is one of the deepest wounds a heart can carry. Whether it comes from family, friends, a relationship, or years of silence, you begin to question your value. You start to wonder if something about you is unlovable, unworthy, or somehow just not enough. But God's love is different. It doesn't turn away when things get hard. It doesn't walk out when emotions rise or circumstances shift. It doesn't change based on your performance or past. It receives. Fully. Freely. Forever. Lord, there have been moments when I felt invisible. Even surrounded by people, loneliness crept in. Even in full rooms, I felt like no one saw the real me. But you did. You saw what others missed. You stayed when others walked away. You didn't just notice me, you received me. You are not tolerated by God, you are cherished. You are not barely accepted, you are joyfully embraced. You are not passed over, you are chosen. And that identity, that truth, is stronger than the echo of any rejection. Let that truth fill the silent spaces today. Let it speak louder than memories of loss. Let it soften the sharp edges left by words that wounded. You belong. Not because people said so, but because God declared it. You don't need to fight for a seat at the table. You've already been invited. You don't have to earn love. You just have to receive it. And the love of God doesn't just comfort you, redefines you. You are beloved. You are known. You are received. So walk today not as someone trying to prove worth, but as someone who walks in worth already given. Let your identity be rooted in what is unshakable. Not the approval of others. Not the affirmation you didn't get. But in the God who sees every part of you and still says, mine. There's healing in this kind of love. There's restoration. There's wholeness. And when you've been loved like this, you carry it differently. You walk into rooms without needing to be validated. You serve without needing applause. You extend grace to others who feel alone because you remember what it felt like. Lord, help me live from the security of your love. Let me rest in the truth that I am never outside your arms. And help me see others through the same eyes, those who are isolated, overlooked, hurting. Let me carry what I've received and give it away freely. We are not alone. We are not abandoned. We are held. And no matter who walked away, God never will. So today, when the ache of loneliness tries to return, let your heart remember, you've already been received. You are part of something eternal. You are loved with a love that never gives up. And that love is enough. Waiting isn't weakness. It's one of the boldest acts of faith you can choose. In a world that runs fast and demands instant answers, waiting on the Lord is a quiet rebellion. A sacred pause that says, God, I trust your timing more than mine. You might not have all the answers right now. You might feel stuck in a place where clarity hasn't come and breakthrough still seems distant. But the absence of movement doesn't mean the absence of God. Sometimes silence is his strategy. Sometimes delay is preparation. Sometimes the waiting is the very place where strength is built. So don't rush past this moment. Don't despise it. Embrace it. Because in the waiting, God is working. Not just around you, but within you. He's shaping faith, deepening roots, tearing down false dependencies so you can stand fully anchored in him. Lord, I admit that waiting is hard. I want resolution. I want clarity. But today, I choose trust. I choose to believe that what feels like a pause is actually a plan. Strengthen my heart in the in-between. Help me not wait in worry, but in worship. Not in anxiety, but in expectation. Let my soul lean into the truth that you are never late. You are never absent. And even when I don't see it, you are moving. Waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing the next right thing while trusting God with the outcome. It means staying faithful when things are still. It means holding on to peace even when the process is slow. Let patience rise today. Let peace be your portion. Let your eyes stay fixed on what doesn't change even when everything else feels uncertain. You don't need to fear what you don't yet understand. Because the one who sees the end from the beginning is still writing your story. And he writes with wisdom. He builds with compassion. He finishes what he starts. So wait on him. And while you wait, be strong. Not with willpower, but with promise. Not with force, but with faith. When emotions waver, let hope anchor you. When questions come, let truth hold you. When doubt whispers, let the Spirit speak louder. We all wait for something, for healing, for direction, for reconciliation, for open doors. But we don't wait alone, and we don't wait in vain. The same God who led you this far will not abandon you in the middle. The same God who was faithful yesterday will be faithful again. So take heart. Find courage in his consistency. Find rest in his presence. And find joy even in the in-between. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Let today be a declaration. I will wait for the Lord. I will be strong. I will take heart. I will trust the one who never fails. This isn't wasted time, it's worship. And in the waiting, strength will rise. Father, thank you for your word. Thank you for Psalm 27, a psalm that doesn't avoid the battles of life, but anchors the heart in something stronger than fear. Thank you for reminding us this morning that light always breaks through darkness. That salvation is not just a future hope, it's a present covering. You are the source of every strength, the calm in every storm, the rock beneath every trembling step. When fear rises, you remain steady. When pressure grows, you become peace. And when we don't feel strong enough, you remind us that we were never meant to be because you are the strength within us. This morning, we don't rise in our own power. We rise in faith. We don't walk forward with fear gripping our hearts. We walk forward with the light of truth leading the way. You have spoken through every verse, calling us to dwell, to seek, to trust, to wait, to stop striving and start abiding, to let go of trying to control everything and choose to rest in the hands of the one who already holds it all. Let this day be lived from that place. Not rushed, but rooted. Not anxious, but aware. Let every breath be filled with remembrance that you are with us, that we are covered, that even if trouble comes again, we are not alone in it. Thank you for lifting every burden brought into this moment, for exchanging heaviness for hope, for meeting us not in perfection, but in surrender. You are the God who sees, the God who stays, the God who never stops drawing close. So today, we rise in faith, not fear. We walk in peace, not pressure. We carry light not because of who we are, but because of who you are within us. Let our confidence come from presence, not performance. Let our joy be steady, even when emotions shift. Let our identity be rooted deeper than approval, accomplishment, or applause. You are the light that goes before us. You are the peace that walks beside us. And you are the joy waiting on the other side of every situation we will face. Thank you for being faithful, for being patient, for being constant, for being God. Let today be more than a checklist. Let it be worship. Let every action, word, and thought reflect the time spent in your presence this morning. Let the world feel the difference in how we carry peace. Because peace carried from your presence leaves a mark that nothing else can replicate. You are not walking into this day empty. You are walking in the light. You are not walking in your own strength. You are walking with the one who never loses battles. Let this truth go with you. You have nothing to fear, because God is with you. God is for you, and His goodness is already going ahead of you. So rise strong, stay grounded, walk in peace. You are not stepping into uncertainty, you are stepping into divine covering. And if this time of prayer touched your heart today, type "The Lord is my light" in the comments. Let that be your public declaration and a quiet encouragement to someone else who needs hope right now. Need prayer? Drop your request below. We're standing with you. You are never alone here. And if you want to begin each day this way, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never start a morning without the Word and the presence of God. This isn't just a routine. This is a rhythm, a way of living grounded, guided, and full of grace. You are not walking into darkness. You are walking with the light. And the one who walks with you will never let go.